shout out to our editor Paul, by the way, for making that deepfake for us.
Yeah, oh guys, if you haven't yet, you should go check out Paul on his channel. He actually has his own YouTube channel called Medic Excalibur. He's gonna be on 100,000 subscribers soon. So.
Make sure you guys 100K.
Yeah, go help him get to 100K. Go check him out.
This month alone, nearly 10 years ago, on the 23rd of December, I created this channel. And I wanted to celebrate this occasion by having very special videos being uploaded during this month. This isn't the only one being uploaded, but it is going to be the first one uploaded. And the reason why I'm talking about SMG4, because nearly 3 years ago, on the 15th of March, I have been helping with making videos for the SMG4 channel. The very first video I ever worked on was if Mario was in Animal Crossing, and the main videos in particular now that you'll see my animation style being used is actually in the Mario Reacts videos. Also, for a period of time, I was also writing skits for the Mario Reacts series. So for a period of time, some of the skits were actually based upon the kind of humor that I make for my own channel itself. Plus, over on the Glitch channel, I also was doing the cinematography and animation composition for the Sunset Paradise show. Being a part of SMG4 has been an amazing experience, and I wanted to use this special occasion for my channel to be able to talk a bit about what it's like to actually making videos for them, while also kind of mentioning the stuff that I've personally done for the channel myself.
What do you even do?
So for those wondering exactly what my occupation is for the channel, it's pretty much doing the animations in gmod, editing the videos, voice acting, and sound design. And it's the skills I've learnt with SMG4 that have actually helped with the videos that I've made on this very channel. Outside of YouTube, I've worked in the creative industry for years, and I can confidently say this is the first time that I actually genuinely care about the content that I've been creating. But not just in the terms of the videos themselves, because throughout the years, I've actually been coming up with my own episode ideas, and to this very day, I have come up with 35 episode ideas. And also additionally, coming up with an idea for a new arc. I don't want to mention what these episodes are, because on the possibility that these might become legit episodes, I don't want to spoil any ideas. I found myself being very invested with the whole universe itself, and obviously been very impressed with Glitch overall. There's a lot of great things happening with that company, and I think it's just been wonderful to be a part of it all. I have voiced many characters overall for Glitch, not just for SMG4. But the one thing I will mention is that I think a lot of people tend to kind of miscalculate which characters in particular I'm voicing. So, to avoid any more confusion, here are the list of all the characters that I've voiced so far for all of Glitch.
And as you can see here, the universe's avatar is just a regular human, but with extraordinary abilities.
But on one condition, you need to help find us more members. Hey, why not come on down to the best crowd in this town? Guardians of Space and Time. Who is responsible for the misuse of time travel?
It was a her. Let's get her, fellas.
Who's that Pokemon?
It's Diglett! Young Melanie, have you forgotten about your parents?
You stole the magic trick I trusted you with. That was a million tally idea, and now I have nothing. Yeah. Stop spamming the server chat, ladies! Sign my chest!
Let's start obviously with SMG1. His voice is pretty much just my regular voice. The only difference really with it is that it's maybe a little bit more deeper and a lot more serious. You know, like casually if I'm talking like this, it's hard to kind of hear him. But if I actually treat this as a very serious mention, you can kind of now imagine this voice coming from someone with a very rectangle head. Box Club Leader. The voice behind that was literally just, and I want to type this character's name up because I don't want to mispronounce it. Heinz Doofenschm. I've seen Phineas and Ferb. I know who the character is. So essentially, this was the kind of direction that they wanted the voice to go to. So pretty much, I just did the best I could with this. And the kind of starting words I would always say is Perry the Platypus. And I would just go,
Platypus. I would just keep saying that to make sure that I know exactly what I remembered that I sound like, so I could keep talking like this.
The other one in particular that I did were the watches. How it all boiled down together, I'm in the recording booth and Luke goes, "Can you do a British accent?" And I think I just had a brain fart. That's the only way I can describe it. I had a brain fart on the day and I'm like, oh crap, I can't do a British accent. And they're like, alright, I'll just do what you think it is.
So I pretty much just did this, and this was the voice I came up with. So I am the Watcher. I've only appeared in one video. So I hope you enjoyed this very brief segment of more voice lines from a character you've pretty much forgotten about.
And what ended up happening on that day was, so I remember I was kind of like impersonating Charles when he was doing his audition tape for Mario, and I won't be able to do it as well as they did on the day, but it was like, "It's me, Mario, yahoo, let's make it a game together. I give it a pizza pie, you give it a pizza," and then, you know, along the lines of that. But it was, my voice box was so crinkled on the day that it kind of sounded like Mario to an extent, and Luke was like, "Could you voice one Mario line?" All the other voices in particular to talk about is either just been my regular voice, or just slightly variations of deep voices, you know.
Young Melody, I voiced Melody's father, and he sounded like this. And Batman's got like a voice like this, so this is how I got the Batman voice going.
The one thing I ended up learning about my voice from the one overseeing the recording was that I'm very good at screaming. So I guess if Glitch needs a character to scream their lungs out, I'm the guy to go to.
Weird Al Yankovic parodied your song.
Now, with helping out with making the SMG4 videos, there are always two particular factors that I find myself prioritizing more than everything else. The first one being parody. Anyone who's known my channel knows that one of my specialities is basically turning something into a parody. I've done parodies of Heavy is Dead, One Punch Man, The Look It's a Bird meme, the Family Guy theme song, Breaking Bad. These are the ones I can think of so far, but if I've forgotten any of them, I'll show it right now.
Reddit.
Why is it always Reddit?
And the other thing as well is, I think fan appeal is the best term I can think of. While working on these videos, I've been devoting a period of time in observing what the audiences have been saying about SMG4 videos as a whole. I feel that, you know, regardless of how big the channel is and how many views that it regularly gets, I still believe that if someone has an opinion about the video or a character, I feel that they should be able to have their say in the matter. Even though that I have to make sure I follow down a particular script, I generally feel that if I can incorporate these opinions and criticisms of the SMG4 videos and then find a way to incorporate them within the actual upcoming videos themselves, I generally feel that in the terms of me with making videos, this is a good step in the right direction. Because I think the last thing I don't want audiences to feel is that they're being isolated and they're trying to be forgotten about. And by the way, with me saying this doesn't mean that I'm the only person doing it. Every single person in the SMG4 team, they are all observing what the community is saying about the videos. And all of them are devoting their time to ensure that we can make the best videos that we can with the SMG4 universe. So what I wanted to do, I wanted to showcase all the particular things that I've included in SMG4 videos that I've created based upon the opinions and expressions that I've seen within the community. Let's start in particular with Mario Plays Five Nights at Freddy's. The majority of ideas that came through this video were created by myself.
Wait a minute! Hey kids, wanna see a dead body?
But the main thing I wanted to talk about with this video was the outro. I know some people have wondered, oh, how did you discover SMG4? Well, the very first video that I ever saw was the Five Nights at Freddy's video. I remembered in that video, there's a segment where the video ends with Mario obviously attacking and destroying all the animatronics. So the outro for the Mario Plays Five Nights at Freddy's is actually supposed to be my interpretation of a HD remaster of the exact same scene that happened in the pizzeria video. Additionally, the one thing I want to mention, the original ending for that video was that when the lights go out, Mario was going to emerge from the darkness with this custom texture that I made for the character, where Mario's covered in like cracks and red, and it kind of like glows in the dark and had like this evil looking face. And he was going to come out of the shadows saying, you know, "It's a me Mario," but like really slow motion and scary. The only problem was, I think the way I was going for it was too scary for the actual audience itself, and so that's why that idea never came to light and ended up being scrapped for just a more quicker and simpler ending. Next, I wanted to talk about Mario Golf. The main scene about this one is when Waluigi turns back to Walurambo. In the actual script itself, when I was making this scene, it literally just said, make an epic fight against Waluigi and Matt. The one thing that I wanted to do was incorporate elements of Waluigi into I'm never going to say that word properly. And the main thing was the Waluigi launcher. So I was like, imagine that when Waluigi transforms, he has a more powerful version of the Waluigi launcher. The only bit with that fighting scene that never actually made the final cut was, I know in the arc, there's a segment where he actually controls Master Hand with his why are there so many words I can't pronounce? So there's a bit where he's controlling Master Hand, and I wanted to have this scene where Waluigi spawns all these like purple shadow versions of Master Hand, and then they all pick up tennis rackets and start hitting tennis balls towards Matt like a minigun. But unfortunately, I didn't have enough time to make that, so that's why that wasn't included in the final video. Next is Nintendo Memes 9 with Bob. When I was asked to make this, the one thing that I had in the back of my mind was that Bob obviously had an arc where Bob rapped. And I wanted to ensure that all the memes that I chose for this, the majority of them were all music related. I wanted the scenes I made for this video to kind of be a bit of a homage to the Bob arc. And one thing I planned was I wanted to ensure that one skit was going to be about Bob doing a rap. And luckily the outro skit turned into that. I'll be honest, I think I did a pretty good job with it.
Whenever I look at you, I get this feeling within my guts. Hope you're not allergic, baby, cause this body may contain some nuts. I'll be willing to go haul my 2 pairs of football. Baseball, I'll crawl over these brick walls to brawl. Your call, so fast and tall. What I'm packing is not that small. Left one steep, right one tall. I'll be willing to call a saw to hope that your jug will feel my balls.
The next thing I wanted to kind of mention was GNR, and I'm gonna just refer it as GNR for the remainder of this video for, obvious reasons. A lot of people who are subscribed to SMG4 really wished that things like GNR could return back. And after watching GNR videos, I can clearly see the appeal that it had and why a lot of people wish they returned. I ended up making an oath to myself that basically said, anytime I work on a scene where Swag and Chris are the main focus of that scene, I'm gonna try and put Greg and Mark in the background of every shot that I can. And that's why they've been appearing in recent videos. But then came Mario gets his finger stuck in a car door. When I was chosen to work on the Swag and Chris segment, I realized that I was given a big opportunity to give a really big shout out to the GNR fanbase. In the script, it literally said, Swag and Chris get the army. So I thought, how about instead of the army, I take the spaghetti factory and make that the army. In fact, I even did an ad-lib moment where Sergeant Mark was actually going to speak in the episode.
Swag, where the heck are they?
It's crazy how if I didn't do this small particular thing, it would have just been a regular episode. This is why I've mainly been focusing on trying to do this as much as I can, because it's these small things that go a long way. I do want to end this segment with a big one in particular, because this one actually took me a lot by surprise. I want to ask you, the audience, a simple question. who do you think is the most hated character of the SMG4 gang? For the majority of you, this will actually not be surprising at all, because it turns out that the most hated character is Meggy. Doesn't matter where you go or where you look, you're going to see everyone with the same attitude towards this one character.
Meggy acting like an insufferable jackass when she gave up to...
Oh no, did Mario accidentally step on Meggy's foot and anger the ginger?
Oh no, not again.
Meggy was an actual bitch here. Meggy's character in this episode was complete crap, but she deserved it.
Meggy being a rage monster isn't what made her good.
Gotta love that she refused to help him until he annoyed her enough.
Meggy nowadays gets pushed all the way over the edge by Mario only performing a few minor annoyances.
She was a dick to Mario in that episode.
Unless it's college Maggie since she gets annoyed at him for existing.
Hey, is me everyone most hated character, but you can't hate me because I am perfect and make no mistakes whatsoever.
Which leaves a lot to be said about Meggy right now.
They apologize to each other unlike Meggy in the college arc.
I hate Mario abuse and so should you.
How does Mario still consider any of these guys his friends anymore?
Last episode they were assholes, now they're friends.
Good episode, but watch it mean absolutely nothing next week.
What has happened to Meggy and Mario's friendship?
As much as people dislike Meggy and Mario's friendship now, Mario and Meggy get stuck and must repair their friendship.
They've been acting more argumentative recently and I miss them just getting along and being friends. Mario being the punching bag of the episode for bull reasons.
If only this type of stuff was canon.
And when I observed this, I'm not gonna lie, I got concerned. So I decided to thoroughly look into this because I really wanted to devolve into the center of it all and find out exactly what people didn't like about this character and if there was a solution behind all of it for all of this to kind of stop. And based upon all the research that you've been seeing on screen, I've devolved into a theory based upon 4 particular bullet points. The first one, Mario and Meggy should be buddies. They should not be rivals. Secondly, Mario and Meggy should always have each other's backs, no matter what the situation. And thirdly is that they believe that Meggy is now entering Mary Sue territory and has somehow changed her personality completely and now interacts with characters in a completely different way, like Mario. And last but not least is that they want a character like Meggy to be just as silly as Mario is, instead of acting more serious. Additionally to that, I've also noticed that people mention that they don't like it when Mario acts like a quote-unquote man-child. So obviously with all this information collected, I now have a theory. And the only way for me to be able to test this theory is to imply it with a particular scene. But I can't just throw it in any particular scene. There had to be a moment that I could have the opportunity to do so. And then months later, I was able to get that opportunity. The video that I'm talking about, and the one that you're probably going to look at in a completely different way, is the cursed tapes. Now some of you are probably thinking that you know the whole story behind this video, but you don't. In the actual script itself, it literally just said, Luigi turns back to normal, and then Mario goes up to check on his brother. But there was Meggy. What happened to her? So then I basically ad-libbed, and I thought to myself, okay, what if Meggy is able to get out successfully and then land back on the ground? But now I'm like, well, people have been calling her a Mary Sue, and I don't want to make that theory have more evidence. So I'm like, okay, what if I just get Meggy to just smash into the wall and then land on the ground? And then I went, well, I can't do that because, you know, Mario and Meggy are supposed to look out for one another, so it wouldn't be fitting. So what it ended up devolving into was just Luigi instead would explode, Meggy would fly out, and Mario would catch her. Then they would find out Luigi is better, and then Mario would confront him. So that way, the script is able to continue. That scene alone only exists because I decided to take the time in observing what the fan base and the community was saying about Meggy alone. If I chose to not engage and see what the community was saying, that scene alone would never have even existed in the first place. I had this theory, it's being added in the final video, I'll just have to see what the audience thinks of it. It went perfectly. That scene alone ended up bringing everyone together. Those who just wanted to watch a simple story were fine, and then the other side of the community lost their minds. I remember seeing this post where they were like, this day is now a national holiday. to celebrate. And the fan art, like, oh my god. This is like the first time I've ever seen so much fan art made because of just one particular scene in general. I have seen so many different interpretations of that one literal moment, and I actively was like going out of my way to see how many fan art of that one shot that I could find. People really enjoyed this scene. So if I ever have the opportunity to keep doing that with Mario and Meggy, I'm gonna keep doing it because a lot of people really like it. Take SMG4 Gets Sued, for example. When Mario says, "I'll see you later," that was in the script. When Mario walks away and Meggy doesn't want him to go and they have this moment with their hands, that was an ad-libbed scene. That was never in the script. That was added because of me. Another example of this, but unfortunately not really displayed the way I intended, was if Mario was the last man on Earth. And I did the very last scene of that. But there's one thing I added with that. Like, it clearly wasn't implemented properly, but I feel like I should at least tell you what I attempted to do. If you notice in the video, Meggy is holding Jub Jub. And I did this in relation with the part-time job video. It's like a reference to that video. But in the very last shot where all of them are charging towards Mario, notice how every single character is going towards Mario except for Meggy. Meggy is actually still holding on to Jub Jub. So Meggy isn't actually charging herself towards Mario. Meggy is being pulled by Jub Jub. I was trying to get Meggy angry at Jub Jub, but obviously when every other character was upset, the message got ruined and, it had a wrong implication. There was Breaking Luigi, where in the script, Mario was just supposed to hug Luigi, but then I was like, well, Meggy's already hugging Luigi. So I thought, why not? I'll make Mario hug the both of them. And then came what I like to call the Magnum opus. Mario Reacts Memes 11. I managed to make sure that every scene particular for it was the best ones I could choose from it. And I'm glad to see with the amount of effort put in that one video alone has literally been labeled by the SMG4 community as one of the best Mario and Meggy videos out there. And obviously, the big ad-libbed moment of this was the desert skit. The original written skit is that Meggy only wanted to go to Egypt, so I made it that Meggy wanted to bring Mario along with her. But I will like to mention one thing. When I saw this video being uploaded, I was a bit disappointed. Because I devoted time within an animated segment of that video, which ended up being cut from the final version. And for those wondering exactly what that was, allow me to summarize it in a way that you never would have ever expected to hear. With the desert scene, everyone was labeling that as the most wholesome bit of the entire video. That scene was actually supposed to be the second most wholesome bit in the entire video, because the Mario Kart skit was actually shortened from what it was originally supposed to end with. The actual note that was written, from what I can remember, went along the lines of this. After Meggy crashes into the wall and explodes, her burning corpse was meant to fall next to Mario. Mario would then hug the burning corpse and say, "You are a superstar." Now, using that segment, and also including how much the community really liked the ad-libbed from the Cursed Tapes video, this is how the Mario Kart skit was actually supposed to end.
Stop it! You can do it!
Okay, I can do this.
I can do this! I've got you!
You're a superstar!
After I made the skits for this video, I'm thinking to myself, this is the Magnum opus, it's not going to get more wholesome than this. And then I look at the next video that I was assigned to make, which was Mario Does Pranks. And the very first skit written for that, I kid you not, was that Mario was going to pretend to be gay so he could get kissed from the female members of the SMG4 crew. Now, in the final version of this video, Mario was doing the finger pointing. In the deleted scene version, however, this is how it used to look like.
Hello, Nate!
Yes, Gaga.
But wait!
there's more! Within the years of working on videos, I have been adding Easter eggs within my scenes. In fact, I've been hiding them so well that majority of them have not been found. Some of them have, I'm not going to deny that, but the majority of them have literally been considered lost. So what I'm going to do right now is give to you this little checklist. This particularly states every single video I've worked on where an Easter egg can be found. Make sure you focus very close attention with these videos, and you will finally be able to find these Easter eggs. I guess the last thing I could mention with this, and this is just a thought of mine, this probably might not even ever happen on the channel, but maybe I could make my own, like, fan-made animations on this particular channel of, like, maybe, like, fan-requested animations or particular ideas? Maybe of, maybe I got a better idea. How about I'll quickly do something in Gary's mod and then just show you.
1 hour later.
Okay, like let's say I do this, right? And some fans like, oh, I want you to do this particular action. And that action in particular is... Is this okay to animate like a fan request that's on the lines of this? Is that okay? Oh no, King!
早上好，中国！现在我有冰淇淋，我很喜欢冰淇淋，但是速度与激情就
I'm gonna react to reaction videos.
I want to conclude this video by openly speaking to the SMG4 community themselves, by giving you the biggest shout out that I could ever do on my channel. One of the things that the SMG4 team, including myself, do after we've created our videos is that we like seeing how the audience and the fans and fanatics have been reacting to the videos that we make. Nothing means the world to us than seeing how the scenes that we've created or come up with have ended up being able to entertain you or make you laugh. So from the bottom of my heart, I want to say a big thank you to all those that have stuck around with the channel. It's been wonderful seeing all of your different reactions and all of your different opinions and criticisms of the videos themselves. Because we believe that all of these things collected together will help SMG4 make the best videos that we can for you all. To everyone everywhere who's been talking, watching, and talking about our videos, thank you for sticking around.
Miku! What?
What the?
Well.
Strength to do.
Dude!
Let's keep it good.
How?
With talking about the community, there are two individuals in particular that I want to give really big shout outs to because I personally believe they deserve it. The first big shout out is going to be the Crib's Crib.
I'm so glad I enjoyed it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for being in the stream. I can't believe it.
Hey, all my loyal subjects. It is I, Princess Swordheart the Gamer Queen.
It's it's me, Princess SwordHeart, the Gamer Queen here.
SMG1! Oh, where's SMG2? Oh, there he is!
Oh my god, I'm so back! Guys! Oh my god, I'm crying right now! You guys can't see it, but still! SMG1! Yes! Oh my god, projection power! Yes! Woohoo! Oh my god, is it really them? Yes! We're back, baby! Woo! If this is gonna make an appearance even in more big.
Look, oh my god, its ass is broken. Hail the majestic of the Schnecht.
I just can't believe it's been 1 whole year since we ran into all of you for the first time.
And with that being said, we have finally reached the end of this video. If you wish to participate in the Easter egg hunt, you can. And also, make sure that you subscribe and check out the people in the description that I've shouted out. But if you don't, we'll make Boys vs. Girls 2, and then we're gonna kill Bob.